Ernest, we have the next speaker. That is our last speaker, actually, right?
Yes, Mahmoud, please, are you there? Hi, Mahmoud. Okay.
All right. So Mahmoud will be presenting the shed light on Microsoft Office 365 Unified Communications. First of all, Unified I don't understand, so you have to explain that for me. Then Microsoft Teams, calling plans, direct routine, operation connectors. Mahmoud, it's up to you. Take over. You're welcome.
Yeah. Hi, Mahmoud. We can hear your sound.
I hear you.
Okay, good, good. We can hear you now. Okay. Yes, your sound came through, but it went off again. Okay, it's still not back.
I believe now it's better.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yeah, is my
Uh,
voice clear?
yes, it's okay.
Yeah, thank you. And hi, everyone. I really appreciating that you attended the session. It's really pleasure being with you today. I must say that today is will be this session will be very insightful on the unified communication solution that nowadays Microsoft Teams is providing. As all of us know nowadays, Microsoft Teams is going so fast and dominating the market from the unified communication solutions. That's why actually it's worthwhile to shed some lights on what is the offering of Microsoft Teams, especially on the PSTN connectivity. How is the connectivity it's happening between Microsoft and the other vendors, as well as the Microsoft itself by having the calling a plan. So allow me to introduce myself. My name is Mahmoud Alshoubaki. I'm working as I have 20 years of experience in unified communications. I work on different technologies, and at the end, I landed on the unified communication of Microsoft. Uh, uh, Currently, I am working for one of the biggest law firm here in Canada. We are deploying Microsoft Teams and Office 365 with direct routing and some of the other locations with calling a plan. And we will be touch base also on the Operator Connect soon. Uh, now, allow me, if the time permit, I will try to present as much as I can to give you the most information about the unified communications regarding to Teams and the connectivity with the PSTN. So allow me just to present my screen, my PowerPoint here. Uh, yeah, I hope that all of you seeing my presentation here.
Yes,
Yep.
yes, we can.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. As we have discussed in the earlier, that we will be discussing all of the options to connect your tenant, which is the Office 365 voice, to the carrier. So there is, as we know, that nowadays Microsoft Teams, there is 250 million active users that every day, which we feel that yes, we should proceed with the with I'm sorry, we should proceed and talk about the unified communication connectivity with PSTN and all of the other options and the license that it should be accommodating this move. So first of all, we should ask Microsoft, we should ask ourselves, what is the options that it's Microsoft allow their customers and vendors to integrate with the PSTN? And overall, we have three options as of this moment. And by the time goes, we all believe that Microsoft Teams is adding more plans, more technologies to allow and facilitate their customers because of the huge demand nowadays on Microsoft Teams and people migrating from legacy systems to Microsoft Teams, either from Skype, Unified Communication, all technologies, Link and Skype for Business, or coming from different vendors like Cisco and Avaya, Mitel, and other vendors in the market. So now Microsoft, they are providing those three options: the calling a plan, operator connect, and direct routing. Now we'll be touch base on all of these options, and we will talk about the benefit and what is who should select this plan and what is the advantages and disadvantages from each one. And at the end, we'll have like a comparison table between the three plans, and where it will show us, giving us like a complete picture about the differences between all of those three plans. At the end, I will have like a conclusion, what is, advice and what is the customer preferences. And we will have like a Q&A session at the end. So anyone who has a question, please write it down, make sure to ask this question. So we are here to help you as much as we can. So we'll start with the calling plan. Now, the calling plan it's a fully cloud voice connectivity that is being provided by Microsoft to help their customers for an easy connectivity with Teams, and they will be acting like the local telco for you. And this calling plan or this plan is available in many countries, and there are some countries are still that the calling plan are not permitted there because of some of the regulations and taxing and stuff like this. That's why Microsoft Teams or Microsoft, they couldn't put any footprint there on these countries. But I believe by the time goes that everything will be settled down with the calling plan. So the calling plan, it's like it's a plan where the customer will be able to go with either going with domestic minutes or the other option, which is domestic and international. And this in this plan, the customer will be able to buy like and provision a certain minutes by having like communication credit, where he will be like like a prepaid on the old cellular phones. That there was you can go for a prepaid. Even today, there is a prepaid where you can put your credit card and you will pay as you go. Now, the other option we have, the Operator Connect, which has been recently added to Microsoft portal. This option is really facilitating the connectivity with Teams because of some barriers nowadays with the calling plan and the other drawback on the calling plan. That's why Microsoft, they have introduced this model to be like in between the calling plan and the direct routing, something in the middle, which will be easier, faster for the customer to provision and to choose their own carrier from Microsoft Admin Center. So this is the Operator Connect. which is also it's it's easy and provisioned from the Microsoft Teams, as we said, Microsoft Teams Admin Center. So the third plan that we have, which is direct routing, by far this plan, direct routing, is commonly used nowadays on the market for many customers, especially those enterprise big customers, the sizable projects and deployment. They are so Microsoft, they have certified certain type of SBCs like Ribbon, Sonos, audio code. So those and also Cisco, and I believe there's a big list of the certified SBCs, which can be integrated with Microsoft Teams and integrated back to back with the customer. So maybe the good part on this Microsoft direct routing, that especially as we said, it's required for the customers who has legacy technology and where they need to continue using those PBX with Microsoft Teams like Avaya, Cisco, Mitel. Having SBC and enable direct routing on it within the customer environment, it's allowing those customers to integrate the SBC with and to be like a hub between Microsoft Teams and the current PBX. And also this will allow the customer to also to go for a connectivity like analog lines, ETAs, and all of these, all technologies, which is, that's not allowed on the cloud. So having said that all of the above the three plans are required licenses eventually. And those licenses available on the Microsoft Office 365, those like E1, E2, E3, and and so on. Now, Office 365 also offer E5, also A5 and G5. Those are by default comes with the phone system license. That will be part of the E5 and A5 and G5. So if the customer has chosen the license, the E5 license, the E5 license, which is, I believe, commonly used for those big customers, it will come with the phone system license as well as the audio conferencing. So this is, as a glimpse about the three plans that we have. Now we will be going deeply and for all of these plans one by one, and we'll try to touch base on the benefits of those plans and what is the advantages, what is the disadvantages of all of these. So firstly, we'll talk about Microsoft Calling Plan. Microsoft Calling Plan, it's a user-based license that is bundled with the minutes from Microsoft. So user will be able to choose, let's say, 5, 10, 15, whenever he wants to add, whenever he got the new stuff that he want to add, he will be able to assign them a new numbers from Microsoft Teams. But first we need to make sure that Microsoft planning, calling a plan is available in that country, because some, as I said in the beginning, there are some countries they don't have a calling plan available. It doesn't require the PSTN carrier to be in the middle, because this is being provided from Microsoft Teams. And as we said, that it will be purely voice cloud solution from Microsoft Teams. There is no any carrier, there is no any provision for hardware to be on the customer side. As we said that the user, just the only thing that the user will be on site, which is that we need to have solid and very strong connectivity with the internet. So users will be able to reach out to the Office 365 and get registered. And once the registration and the authentication for the user happen, then the user will be able to have his profile and will be able to make and receive calls. This is an overall about the Microsoft calling plan. As we mentioned, that for a user who will be using the Microsoft calling plan will need to have communication credit. This communication credit, you will be having enough money where you will be able to provision a certain amount of minutes and for the calling as well as for the audio conferencing. And once those amount is being, let's say that you reach the limit, that either you have to recharge the plan, or you will not, I mean, the customer will not be able to make outbound calls or receive calls or even use the audio conferencing to add customers from outside or to call any customer from outside. So this is, yeah, about calling a plan. Now, maybe we'll touch base on the benefit and why customers choose calling a plan. There, as we mentioned, that there is two types of the calling plan, that either you will go with domestic or domestic and international minutes. This is, yeah, for some customers, that this is will be, will be like a single supplier. You don't need to deal with different vendors to be part of your telephony system or telephone system support. It's easy to use and it will be provisioned within a minute. You can have the telephone number and assigned to the users, and the users will start, they will be able to call outside and to receive calls. Now, with some organization, they prefer to deal with single carrier, as we said, to minimize the spend and management on the system, on their telephone system. Now, this is also that there is some companies, they will also consider the compliance for the compliance with the emergency 911. So because on some countries there will be some certain provider that they will be able to be connected with the customer to allow the 911 calling. So, and there is regulations behind that. And so that's why some of the customer, they feel that Microsoft is the best vendor for the E911 calling, and that's why they prefer to be with with Microsoft. Now here is also the calling plan disadvantages. Why some of the other customers, they feel that the calling plan is not for their preferences. This, it will be difficult sometimes to port DIDs from a different carrier to Microsoft. Will take some times. Now, with regard to also to the credit, communication credit, the communication credit, if it's expired then or it has been exceeded the limit, then all of the communication will not be going through, and customer cannot be able to make outbound or receive calls. Now, with regard also to the the monthly fees for the calling plan and the license, because the license also it will be, costly compared to the telco from outside with different vendors. Now, not available in different countries, as we said. And in some countries, they don't have a calling plan. That's why customers, they will be forced to go for direct routing or any other way to connect to Teams. So that's all about the calling plan. Now, now who should use the calling plan? Calling plan is easy to set up, as we said, for any customer who requires a proof of concept. They will be able to connect it as we said, and they will be able to make calls within a minute. With also, this is it's like, there is no need for any hardware or connectivity with any physical or provision any hardware on site. That's why customers, they try to mitigate having any maintenance or support for any. They're trying to get rid of all of the hardware on premise nowadays. That's why we feel they feel that this is the optimum solution for them. And this is, as we said, this is usually used for the customers who doesn't have much of users, especially for small customers, and they don't want to invest on hardware. They need like 10, 15, 20, 50, hundreds, but not thousands, not different locations and stuff like this. So that's why they will be able to proceed and choose Microsoft calling a plan for connectivity with Teams. So, but having this slide is, I believe, we have covered the Microsoft calling plan end to end. I hope if you will have any question on this calling plan, just please write it down, and we'll discuss it at the end of the session. So let's move to the other plan, which is the Microsoft Teams direct routing. And the Microsoft direct routing is, by far, is the most commonly used one for all of the customers. Even for small customer, they are using direct routing because of the many reasons that we're gonna touch base on these reasons on the next slide. Now, the calling the direct routing is nowadays there is big number of certified SPCs has been certified by Microsoft to facilitate their customers to connect with Microsoft Teams by using one of those SBCs like Sonos, AudioCode, Cisco, Avaya, and many others on the market. So it will be customer either has to provision that SBC within his environment, and he has to pay for the license and maintenance, or to put it on the carrier, and the carrier will be able to do the porting and to do the maintenance. It's like, direct routing as a service. For some of the telco, they are providing this direct routing as a service, where the customer will be able only just to provision the DIDs or to port the DIDs to this telco, and the telco will be able to get the connectivity with Teams and facilitate the PSTN calling to the customer. Now, direct routing it's required for for many customers, especially for those customers who has legacy connectivity like old BBXs, and he doesn't want to move away, or at a certain point that he need to make like a graceful migration. That's why he will have this SBC on the middle of the Avaya Cisco system and Teams, and then will allow like a smooth transition from those systems to Microsoft Teams. So, and some of the organizations that they have a multi-locations where they cannot afford going for a calling a plan, where some of the countries the calling plan are not allowed or not existing. That's why they have to come with like a common strategy for their PSTN calling. So this is the diagram where it shows that here's the customer side and the SBC connectivity with the outbound with the SIP trunk, and this SIP trunk can be connected from the telco to the customer, and from the customer can connect through the internet, can be having like a SIP trunk with Teams, and through all of the traffic to Teams back and forth for outbound and inbound traffic. So this is the way, and this SBC also it works as a hub or a mediator between Teams and the third-party PBX, as we have discussed, which is very, very beneficial for the mega customer who has really sizable projects, and they don't want to jump on a sudden to Teams, and users go in the next day that they will not find their phones are not useful or not working. So direct routing will be the way to go for majority of those big customers. So now we'll move to the benefits of the direct routing. Why customer they want direct routing and not choosing the other, calling a plan or operator command. Now, as we said, that the first thing is for direct routing, one of the most featured is the integration. Direct routing is integrated with the Microsoft Teams, and also for the complex environments, like some of the customers, they have contact center, and the contact center, as you know, that there is a lot of adjunct servers, connectivity and CTI and all of those stuff, where they are really heavily depending on the SIP traffic that's coming from SBC. Like one of the customer I worked for, that they were doing like SIP break recording on a variant, and I was there working as solution architect, and without the SBC they couldn't start the recording. So the recording start based on the SIP break messages that comes from the SBC to the RES server, and the moment this message comes, that means there is a call and the recorder will start recording. So there is many customers nowadays in the market, they have a recording system, either for a small help desk environment or for a sales team, marketing, and so recording system, we see it everywhere nowadays, either on a larger scale or a small scale. So for those customers, really they need to go with the direct routing. They cannot, get rid of, the connectivity with all PBX and move to Teams without having a solution for their the recording system. And the other, some of the other they have elevators, analog lines, and paging system, and where they continue need to connect with the direct routing to have the SBC help giving them this feature. So now also we have the direct routing globally for some of the customers. They are managing their SBCs and they are integrated with all voice applications. This is covering coverage and consolidation is really wider than any other applications. Now it's really compatible with many traditional phones nowadays. As you know, those SBCs are having a SIP protocols, and the SIP protocols, as we know, that it's not a proprietary protocol for any vendor. It's like, open concept protocol between all of those vendors. So they have one language where they can communicate and integrate. And also, one of also the benefits is cost. When it's come to dollars nowadays, everyone with the pandemic is really looking where he can save. So by far, direct routing cost is way less than calling a plan and any other plans. So that's why customers, they are moving toward this direct routing heavily without even thinking about the other options. So now here, but there is some as we said, always there is plus and minus for anything in the life. Direct routing also, there is some negative points in the direct routing. Now the deployment of the direct routing, it's really it's not as straightforward. I have done it for a couple of customers. It's really it has a lot of testing and troubleshooting and configuration. But at the end, once it's stable and connected, and you added the voice gateway to Teams, then everything will work as expected. Now, having a direct routing from different vendor, that's mean you are introducing a new support team to your telephone system. A part of Teams, a part of Microsoft, you will have a vendor like a telco, and sometimes this is create a problem whenever there is a problem and you couldn't pinpoint where is the issue, and you will be between the two vendors, between the telco and Teams and Microsoft, and sometimes you will not be able to troubleshoot properly to know where is the issue comes from. Because especially if you are hosting your direct routing SPC on the telco, where you don't have accessibility to it, so it will be really hard to find or to troubleshoot and to know at least from the SPC what's going on. Like, some customers I work for, they don't have the SPC in their environment. It's been hosted at the telco, which is really, you will be handcuffed by whenever there's an issue. You will not be able to know where the issue comes from. Telco will say that the problem from Microsoft, and Microsoft will say no, problem from SBC. And that's why I prefer, if I am a decision maker on some customers that I'm doing consultation for them, I prefer to have the SBC on my environment, or else to move to Microsoft calling plan or operator connect, and try to minimize the troubleshooting and to reach a solution as soon as possible, especially when you have a direct routing. That's mean you have a bottleneck. If there's a problem from SBC, and it will take a process, especially with those telco companies, that you have to open a ticket, and the ticket will go to the first level support. First level support will try to grab as much information from you, and then he will escalate to level 2, and level 2 will take sometimes maybe some days, and then the ticket will be escalated to level 3, and all of these journey, and the customer will pay the price for all of these problems that he has. That's why I prefer, from my experience, if customers choosing to go with the direct routing option, to have the SBC on his environment. Or it's not necessarily in his environment, he can put it in the cloud, but to have access to the SBC. So whenever there is an issue, you will be able immediately to go to read the SIP headers, to SIP messages, to understand, make like live test with a Microsoft tech engineer to know where is the issue happening. So this is one of the important points that I want to highlight to you. So now, with regard also to the other disadvantages of the direct routing, that you need to define the emergency calling policy for the users. So in Teams, that there is emergency routing policy, that you need to identify that one, and you need to choose the partner that you want to work with whenever there is any call to 911 happen. So it should be routed to operator, and the operator will respond and will get like the information and the location of the caller, and then you will be able to dispatch the police for that one. This is, this is one of the disadvantages. While on the calling plan, Microsoft is doing this emergency calling policy. It's by default built in within calling plan, and also for the operator connect as well. So customer has to identify also the voice routing policies, and adding the gateway and connecting the domain and subdomains, and all of these configurations should happen between the customer as well as the telco to have like the connectivity between the SBC and the tenant. Now that's about the Microsoft Teams and who should choose or use the direct routing. Direct routing, as we said, it's commonly used by by many customers nowadays in the market because of many reasons. One of the main reason is that in a very complex environment that and multiple locations, customer they choose to go for a direct routing, especially for also some of those locations that will try to make like toll bypass calling by whenever there is a call that's going international and they have office in the US, they will be able to route the call through the US to minimize the international calling. This is one of the good features that we have with the direct routing. Now, with the existing, some customer, they have a comfort level dealing with a certain telco. That's why they need to continue using their trunks and their direct routing offering. So this is one of the options that the customers they will go for. Now, also direct routing, as we said, that it can work in the middle between the old BBX system and Teams, that will facilitate the the transitioning between the two environments and the two kind of users, and will allow also as well the integration with elevator phones, paging, and like can also give fax lines as well. Can keep the fax line connected to that SPC. Now, customers also in the location outside the market plan, the market of calling plan, so they don't have any option other than direct routing at that for that specific countries. Some, as we said, there's some customers they have agreement with the telco and they don't want to move away from those telco, and they have like a certain plan. One of the most and very important feature for direct routing is direct routing survivable branch. This is really very important for customers. Now it's like an SPC, as an appliance will be will be installed on that certain branch, let's say, and on that branch, if there is, let's say, there is one disconnectivity, and those users, let's say 100 users on that branch, they couldn't have internet connectivity, so their call's supposed to fail. But if we have the survival branch appliance installed there, then those users, they will be working as usual without any problem. They will be able to make inbound and outbound calls without any issues at all. through also this survivable branch will be also connected with the SIP trunk, and will be able to make the inbound and outbound calls without any problem. This is what we should have, all what we have about the direct routing. And on the next slide, I'll be moving to the calling plan, to the operator connect, which has been newly added to the portal. So I hope if you have any questions about direct routing, I hope we'll discuss it at the end of the session. So thank you. Now, with regard to the Operator Connect, as we said, is the newly added feature by...
I don't know if it is okay for me to ask you a question on the direct routing.
Yeah.
Or you, okay. So I saw this survivable branch appliance. Can you share more light into that kind of appliance? The survivable branch appliance, the SBA.
Yeah. In fact, the survival branch appliance, this is, they call SBA. Nowadays, all of the SBC providers, they are providing like SBC. It's an SBC, but with the limited licenses, that to make it cost effective for the customers. So let's say if I have a company or organization with 10 locations and in different countries, so I will be able to provide the SBC, and let's say in those 10 organizations, 10 branches are in Canada, I will be able to distribute SBA on each branch. So now, if there is any failure that happened to a branch in Toronto, then the branch in Toronto will be able to facilitate all of the connections or all of the communications through Toronto office, like, because this SBA is connected back to back with the telco through a SIP trunk, and will be able to make inbound and outbound calling. And the moment the WAN connectivity resumed, then the SBC will go to the like a sleeping mode and will not be on active mode. So it will work at the end like standalone BBX system to serve that particular branch. I hope now this SBA also, as I said, that all of the SBC vendors or manufacturers, they are manufacturing the SBA because of the high demand for the customers for this SBA. And the SBA as well, it can also be connected to any existing BBX system within that branch. So it will be work like an hybrid environment. Especially those SBCs, SBA is required for any critical business like hospitals, contact centers, airports, where they need to have, they don't want to be on a single point of failure. So I hope this covered and attended your question.
All right,
so
thank you.
Is it clear?
Yes, it's clear.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thanks.
So we'll move to the Operator Connect. As we said, the Operator Connect is the newly added feature to Microsoft Teams, PSTN connectivity. As we said, because of the huge demand and the migration nowadays with the pandemic to Teams, there is nowadays around 250 million active users on Teams. That's why Microsoft, I believe they introduced this feature because of the huge demand on the calling plan, and maybe they have introduced this feature just to try to offload some of their portals on the calling plan. That's why they need to give the customers more option, as well as to also to meet the requirements of their calling plan users or customers, because the demand is really huge, and we see every day new big customers moving to Teams from the old from the other vendors. That's why now they have introduced the Operator Connect. Operator Connect, it's more or less is something came on the middle between the direct routing and the calling plan. Currently, Microsoft have approved to have 12 telco companies to be telco operators to provide the Operator Connect feature. With this 12 telco operators, they are working on 52 countries. So again, there is some countries that will not have this option as well, like the calling plan. So on those countries, they should go with the direct routing. So now the Operator Connect is, again, it will be you have like on the admin center, you will have all of these operators. On the front of you, you will be able to pick and choose whatever vendor, whatever telco you want to go with, but just make sure that this telco has a presence in your country, and you will be able to provide you the regular telco features and operations, like porting numbers from telco to the other telco, giving you a DID, giving you a good rating as well with the tariff rating, and compared to the other vendors or telco vendors. So this is now, as we said, that they have a presence in 52 countries across the globe, and we are expecting those 12 telco to become double or triple in the coming quarters. So that's why Microsoft, they are working hard to adapt more telco in the Operator Connect program to help their customers and to give them more options, and to allow also customers to look for competitive prices as well. That's why this Microsoft, they have went through this option. As we see that the connectivity is pretty straightforward. We have the customer, and let's say the customer side here, they have Teams users, and it's connected with the signaling going to Teams through the Office 365, and the media flow is going through the carrier cloud. It's, again, it will be more or less like direct routing as a service, but the contract, you don't have the contract with this carrier will have a contract direct with Teams, and they will facilitate the connectivity through the Azure voice connectivity. So this is, on a high-level diagram about the connectivity and how is the media flow between the Teams as well as the cloud carrier. So Operator Connect advantages. What is the advantages of having this? Definitely, Microsoft, when they have introduced this program, they studied well this program is going to add values to their operation or to their solutions. Now, this is some of the customers, especially here in Canada, we have Rogers. Rogers is one of the biggest telco, one of the top 3 telco companies here in Canada. They have mobility and PST and connectivity for landlines and business also. That's why we have Rogers here in Canada, and people, they will be able to either, if they have agreement with Rogers, they can continue with Rogers by having their numbers continue with Rogers, and if they are with a different vendor or different telco, like Telus and Bell here in Canada, they can easily move and port their numbers to Rogers. Porting the numbers, it doesn't require much of efforts like what we were doing on the direct routing. because the portal is already on the Microsoft Admin Center, so you will be able to choose the the telco provider that you want to deal with, and then you will go through the process, and you will be able also to port the numbers by through the portal itself. So this is with regard porting and numbers, it's easy because this option is with the direct routing is really painful, and it's sometimes taking 2 to 3 weeks of process to port any batch of users from one telco to the other. Having the Operator Connect program nowadays with Teams, it's really quick and easy. So it's actually we thank Microsoft for this program. Really, it's making our life easier. Now, some of those operators also, they will be able to help you to integrate your legacy PBX system with the Teams through SIP trunking by having, let's say, connected via Cisco, Mitel to Teams using their telco, their SPC on their data center. So this is also one of the plus points on the Operator Connect. And there is also that all of the teams, all of the options there on the admin center, so people they will be able to go. Now with this one, with the Operator Connect, again, this is also very important. You don't need to create the routing policies or getting the E911 operator or voice routing, emergency of the voice routing, because all have been built in within the Operator Connect itself, or with the telco. They have their plan on the backend, so you don't need to worry about that or make any other partnership with any E911 calling operators. So this is something easy and quick to provision and to move on. Also, if you have, I mean, big number of users and you need to move them all at once, on the direct routing, we used to do that on the PowerShell. Here with the Operator Connect, you will be able to do that by depending on the telco portal. So they will be able to move, let's say, hundreds, thousands of users at the same time on a one shot. So this is also because the telco can help you, make like a quick and easy provisioning for the numbers and assign it to users. Now, who should use the Operator Connect? Now, as we said, that Operator Connect will come on the middle between direct routing and calling plan, and that's why we will find some customers who are really looking for a pure cloud connectivity and they don't want to provision any hardware on their side. And if there is any customer who have any agreement and with any telco and they need to continue on that agreement, so they don't want to move back and forth and signing a new contracts with different vendors or different telco vendors and stuff like this. So that will be also minimize the compliance and the governance and all of these processes for some of big companies. Now, as we said, that the Operator Connect also is giving you the option to connect with all PBX system with getting the help of the telco provider. They will be able to do that for you as well. Some of the other locations as well, they don't have the calling plan coverage from Microsoft. That's why they don't want to go also for direct routing to provisional hardware. They will be able to go with the Operator Connect. So Operator Connect will be the best option for them. So yeah, hopefully I covered the Operator Connect from all aspects. And now I will be moving to the comparison table where it will put all of the inside informations on all of the three vendors, three plans, and we'll go through those options one by one together. I'll try to make it as the time is approaching. I'm trying to cover this as soon as possible in order to give 10 minutes or 15 minutes for questions. With this comparison table, as we see that the three plans that we have here in the table, the Microsoft calling plan, Operator Connect, direct routing, the voice connectivity for calling plan, it's provided by Microsoft. It's a cloud voice, PSTN connectivity. On the Operator Connect, provided by the Operator Connect through the trusted cross-connected their network with Microsoft through the Azure voice technology. Then now with the direct routing, also we have the connectivity with through the SPC. And whether you will provision that SPC in your environment or at the telco side, that with the direct routing as a service, that at the end you will be having this connectivity with the direct routing. Now, for the voice service management that is managed for the calling plan through the Office 365 Admin Center, and for the Operator Connect through the Admin Center as well, you will be able to provision the numbers and stuff like this. And now, with the direct routing, it's going through the customer by himself and manage those numbers and DIDs and stuff like this. Now the integration only supported that the calling plan is supported through the APIs of Microsoft calling plan. Operator Connect also support through the APIs integration and Microsoft Teams Admin Center. For the direct routing, as we see that voice application integration are fully supported through the direct routing because we are depending, as we said, on the call recording for the separate. It's being using through a different SPCs. Now, from the price perspective, that we see that the calling plan comes with minutes, and per month you have to provision that your paying plan through the communication credit. And for the Operator Connect, you have to pay the monthly rental charges to the carrier, as well as for the direct routing. Both they have the same options. Now, support hybrid environment on the direct routing is completely configurable. Now, the global coverage, as we said, that we have earlier, it was 26 countries, and on the Operator Connect, we have it in 52 countries. And the time is going up nowadays with the new deployments and the adaptations of Microsoft Teams on different countries. Direct routing also, that it's been the coverage by the SPC vendors that they have existing on that countries. So that's a quick comparison about those three plans. Now, about the conclusion. Now, conclusion from my own experience, as I said, customer they got to choose their plan based on the existing of the calling plan on their country or the Operator Connect, as well as their size. If the customer he has a complex environment and different locations and sizable projects, definitely the best options for them is the direct routing. And if they are looking as well for survival branch appliance, also the direct routing is the best option for them. Now, if the customer has small company and small number of users, maybe in this case the best option for them to go to calling plan or Operator Connect, where they don't require to provision any hardware. So, and my last advice as well, or conclusion, that customer who will be going to a direct routing, I strongly recommend to have the SBC hosted on their environment or on their cloud, but they should have access to that SBC that will help them a lot on doing a troubleshooting for the direct routing. Okay, thank you, and that's all from my side. I believe we have maybe 5 minutes. I'm sorry, 5 minutes for questions, or 10 minutes. I'm open for any question if there is any question. Thank you for your listening, and Anas, I'm not
Yes,
sure if there's any
one
question.
wonderful section. It's been very insightful section. We've gone through all the nitty-gritties of direct and operator connect. I think Jeffrey has a question. Jeffrey, you can unmute yourself and ask the question.
Thank you. Good morning, Mahmoud. Hope you could still remember me.
Hi, Jeffrey. Yeah. How are you, Jeffrey?
How are you?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. It's nice to see that you've engaged in a different technology now. This is a really how will say this nice experience for me watching you present. I have a question with this Teams integration. For so hope two questions will be fine. One for direct routing. Is there any preferred SBC brand or any SBC brand product will do? My question number two is for the operator plan. Can we implement call recording for this one, since we could? I think this plan also supports connecting telco on the 365 cloud already. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Jeffrey, for the questions and attending my web session. It's really a pleasure hearing and seeing you after a long, long time. We were working together. Thank you. With regard to your first question about the direct routing and the preference SBC, as I said, that Microsoft nowadays they have certified big lists of SBCs, but actually the commonly used ones nowadays for direct routing for big customers and we see everywhere is Sonos Ribbon and Audio Code. Those are the most commonly used, as well as Cisco and Avaya and the other brands. But those are the two that I work with, and I feel that they are really robust and very stable on the connectivity and the troubleshooting as well. So back to this is, I hope this attended and answered your question properly. The second point is regarding the integration with the call recording on the Operator Connect. As I said, that Operator Connect nowadays, it's coming in between the direct routing calling plan, where you will be able to integrate with the third-party environment that you have, like call recording, but that it depends on the telco. Now, telco, if they will be able to allow the separate to be propagated through the network, and there will not be any compliance with them for the voice recording to be transmitted over the WAN. This is, I mean, from a technical perspective, yes, it's 100% doable, but it's required to reach a certain agreement with the customer compliance department as well as the telco to propagate those voice traffic over the network, especially for the recording compliance team. That sometimes they don't want those to be propagated on the cloud or on the WAN link. But it's 100% doable, yes.
Thank you so much.
No problem, Jeffrey. Thank you.
All right, so we are still taking your questions. If you have any question about the just ended presentation, Mahmoud is still available, you can raise your hands and then you mute yourself and then ask your question. Yes. But I think, Mahmoud, it has been a very insightful section. I mean, please also share your slides with us so that we will share it with the audience as well.
Sure,
So,
yeah.
yes. And can you show your, do you have a blog or something like that? I mean, maybe other attendees would like to follow you or not yet?
Yeah, I don't have it handy now because that is on a different PC. I will share it with you, Anas, and yeah, hopefully. Now, I'm sorry because of the time is limited this time. I couldn't make a demo for how to configure direct routing and how to connect to the calling plan. So hopefully on the next session or the next time, I will be able to prepare a presentation with the live demo.
Yes, I think all in all, it has been great because you first need to understand the principles of the technology, get that understanding before you can get your hands dirty. So we have personally enjoyed the detailed understanding of all these plans. And I know, I mean, when I'm comparing those direct and then operator connect, I know the difference now. So it's been very insightful. Yes, we are still taking our questions. Chesko, anything from your end?
No, thank you very much, Mahmoud. It was great. Me, actually, unified communications. I have no idea, but today at least I've learned something. Thank you very much. Thank you for your presence too. Thank you for sharing with us at Mode MUGG Ghana.
Thank you. Anytime.
Okay, so I think that it's been good 5 hours. Yes, if I'm right, we've gone through all the sections and attendees have been wonderful. They are still with us, and we appreciate that a lot. I think that we are rounding down. Mahmoud was our last speaker. Chesko, I hope I'm right.
Yeah.
Yep, Mahmoud is the last speaker.
Okay. So I think that we are still waiting for questions, and if you want to follow Mahmoud, I think you can. Mahmoud, did you share your social media handle? I think you have that.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
You on LinkedIn and as well as on Twitter, you can always contact Mahmoud personally. I was glad to hear Mahmoud speak, and he's been very. We've worked together, and this section came on very great. I thank you a lot, Mahmoud, for
Thank you.
speaking to the community.
I really appreciate it having me here. It's a pleasure being with you and the team here with all of the audience. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. So at this time, I would just give the baton to Chesko to run the program up. Chesko, take over.
Okay, thank you very much. Mahmoud, please, can you drop your details, like your handles, on the chat box so that people can get in touch with you?
Of course, yeah, I will do that.
Okay. Thank you very much, and have a grateful afternoon. Is the afternoon over there? Because here we are 2 p.m.
Yeah, it's early morning here still.
Okay, have a great day today. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it.
You're okay.
Have a great day, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, so Chesko, just run up so we can call it a day. I think that it's been wonderful. I would do that instead. I appreciate all the attendees. I appreciate all the wonderful speakers who spoke and make this event a success. It is my hope that everyone who joined really took some insightful content and information. Watch out for our next event, which will be on .NET. Yes, this is for the developers, and for everyone who want to catch the latest update on what's going on .NET technology. So stay tuned. It's going to be the last Saturday of next month. So I hope to see you there. Have a great weekend here in Ghana, wherever you are. I mean, enjoy your day and your evenings. Yes. See you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. See you. Have a nice weekend.